Hi, I'm Dr. Justin Coulson, parenting author, researcher and speaker, and in this video we're talking toddlers and touchscreens. Most experts would agree that we are in the midst of a screen tsunami, and our toddlers and preschoolers, in fact all of our children, and many of us, are being swept up by it. In this video, I want to focus on our under fives and their use of screens. We all know how quickly our children get screens. They understand swiping and scrolling, and they just love being on their devices. And those devices can be pretty convenient for us as well. I mean, we hand them over to the kids and it's bliss. They become so quiet, so easy to deal with. Researchers from around the world, though, are clear on one thing. Infants and touchscreens should not mix. And toddlers and preschoolers should have their access minimized. In fact, guidelines from the American Pediatric Association and the American Psychological Association recommend 0 screen time. I'm talking zilch, nada, zip, none for kids under 2. And preferably no more than about half an hour a day for under 5s, maybe up to an hour. Why? Well, there's a bunch of cons to screen time use, and there aren't actually very many pros, especially for young children. Here's a list of cons for you. Okay, first up, screens don't really have much educational benefit, especially compared with real face-to-face contact with parents and other caregivers. Secondly, screens have been shown to slow down social and emotional development. Kids need to actually look at real faces that interact and that respond to them in real time. Third, screen time is actually associated with poorer physical health. So kids move less and they eat more. And they eat more poorly as well when they're in front of screens. Their motor development can be affected if they're lying on the lounge like a lizard with a screen in front of their face all day. Plus, there's the impact on their eyesight. Screens are also associated with poorer sleep habits. Screens interrupt play, which you've probably heard the saying is the work of childhood. Screens are shown to impact on curiosity and creativity in negative ways. And you've probably experienced this. Screens create tantrums and behavioral issues. They also affect memory and learning, and they can literally rewire our children's brains to be responsive to rewards and social situations in ways that some experts would warn may not be good for optimal development. So that's the arguments against screens. The arguments for screens in children under 5 are, there are some who argue that social skills can be taught and that there's some educational advantage. There's also some who will argue that some zone-out stress relief time is what screens are good for, and that it can actually help with some fine motor skill development. Now, some of this may be true, but kids can get all of that in much higher doses away from screens. There's also the argument that children may get left behind if they're not on screens soon enough, but most children seem to pick up how to do things pretty quickly, regardless of how or when we introduce those screens to them. It's okay to let them wade. So the very best advice still seems to say, keep little ones under 2 off screens entirely, even the TV, and minimize access for your under 5s. Here are a couple of strategies that I think might be helpful to set good screen time limits for your children. First, be a good example of screen time use on your own. If your children see you constantly reaching for a screen so that you can occupy yourself, they're going to learn that this is how we cope with every spare 60 seconds we have. Second, we've got to set appropriate limits with our child. Use the oven timer to keep to time, or use the iPad countdown function. Make sure that there are time limits. Third, don't offer the device as a reward. What it does is it makes them just want the device more and want whatever they've had to do to earn the device less. Fourth, give them appropriate time and attention and activities away from screens. They want you more than they want screen time, so be available to them. Fifth, make sure they get plenty of active time, playing, being outside, reading, being creative. Get them involved socially as well. The more balanced their lives, the less that screens will be problematic. Screens are pretty awesome when we use them in healthy ways and at the right times. So try these tips to help your children to grow up with a good understanding of how to balance screens with other things in life that are important.